Well, hello. We're going to be talking about 8.1 reflection. And reflection is more like a reflection across the mirror. And so if I've got a line right here, and I've got point A over here, and this would be A prime, whatever distance this is here is going to be exactly the same distance over here if I reflect it across. This would be my y-axis, and of course this is my x-axis. And so if I'm reflecting across the y-axis, whatever distance this is here from A to A prime, and this little mark right here just simply means it's the second image. And so we've got a pre-image, we got a pre-image and our image. And so we're just reflecting whatever distance this is across here. This is always going to be 90 degrees. And so we're talking about, when we talk about rigid, we're also talking about rigid shapes. If whatever measurement size this is right here, if this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, we're gonna, if we reflect across here, we're gonna have exactly the same dimensions. And this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. And so they're gonna be exactly the same size when they're rigid. That means that the measurements and the size will not change. And so on some of the problems, especially when you get into the Math Excel, it's going to say like y equals 1. What that means, if I've got an equation, I say y equals 1, I come here, here's my x-axis, and here's my y-axis. Y equals 1 means it's right here. This is 1. That means it's a horizontal line at 1. And so whatever distance is above the line, the new image is going to be below the line. And so you just simply count up how high the first one is, and you count down from there the second one. Same thing if I say if x equals 1. If x equals 1, so here's my xy coordinate plane. Here's x, here's y. And here is 1 for x. Of course, here's negative 1 for x. 1 for x, that means that right here, I've got a line here. So if this is 2 and this is 3, if I got a point here at 3, 4, and I'm reflecting across this x-axis, that's only 2 units. That means 2 units over here. That means my new point of A, this is going to be A prime, and that's going to be at -1, 4. Now, the thing to remember, if we reflect across the x-axis, so I got my coordinate plane x and y, here's x, here's y. If I'm going to reflect across this x-axis, and whatever distance this is going to be here, this has an address, let's just call this 3, 4. 3, -4, because we're down here in the y-axis here. This is going to be also 3, but a +4. So the x value won't change if I'm going across the x-axis. Now, if I'm crossing over the y-axis, here's x, here's y, and if I got a point here, we'll call this 6, 2, just for a number. If I reflect it across the y-axis, it's going to be -6, 2, because the only thing that changes, the y values aren't going to change because we didn't change up and down. We just simply moved left to right. That means only the x values change. Remember, we always walk out x value first, then up for the y. And those are some things I really wanted to make sure that I touched on.